Co-working days. Co-working days. These are important. When you're alone a lot, like I am, and you have admin days are extremely important. It's important to meet up with other people who do what you do and work with them, and then you can bounce ideas off each other and help each other in real time and help each other a lot quicker. Plus, you're out, you're socializing and stuff. Because I do a lot of site visits, but when I do site visits, it's here's today's problems, here's today's problems, here's today's problems, let's solve them, let's solve them, let's solve them. Don't get me wrong, I fucking love solving problems. It's literally my job, the problem solver, right? But when it's admin days and you're sat, let's say you work from home and you're just sat in your home office or whatever, and you're just sat there dealing with your problems and they're all coming up and you're solving, they're all coming up, and you might even get angry or frustrated and stuff like that, and you're just repressing it. You've got not really many people to talk to. You're just sat there in your own, like, festering in your own fucking problems. So, I am meeting Kyle and Leon today, and they've got 9 projects in conveyancing, 3 about to complete, about to start refurb, and it's their first HMO renovations. So we're going to bounce ideas. They're going to lean on my experience, and I'm going to lean on their experience, and we're going to help each other out, which is good. So I highly recommend doing stuff like that. A, you're seeing your friends, and B, you probably get more high quality work done. Now, we've received the stage floor plans for the latest project that's in conveyancing, and I'm going to run through them with the investor. Now, although this investor is doing the build himself, and he's doing, say, 90% of the conveyancing himself, I wanted to just walk through the stage floor plans with him. Now, this guy, he's a serious developer, London-based. I tend to work with a lot of London-based people, so if you're from London, if you know people in London who want to work with me in a HMO capacity, whether they want to be an investor and have the portfolio built for them, or you just want to invest some money and get a return, hit me up, fill the form in the description below. Anyway, this is his first HMO, and I'm going to walk him through it, I'm going to help him out, and I might learn something, he might learn something, and it's going to be good. Anyway, co-working day, you're going to see Kyle and Leon. It's going to be a fun day, it's going to be a good day. A lot of problems come up already. Individual trades wanting to walk off site because they're all arguing with each other, you know. So, and that was before 9 a.m. Oh God. And then I'm in a group chat, and then other people are having neighbours going to the planning department and, you know, kicking off, going batshit crazy. Listen, if you want to get into this game, you've got to have patience, resilience, and a calm state of mind, because I tell you what, if you're one of those people that loses your shit all the fucking time, you aren't going to get through a day, because huge problems come up before 9 a.m. most days. You know what I mean? So you just gotta get used to it. The first bit here's a bit of advice. When you get into property investment, for the first while, loads of problems come up, and relentless amount of problems come up. And the difficult part about that is you're not used to all these problems coming up, okay? So then you start to think that you're doing something wrong, and you're like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? It seems like everyone else is doing like easy stuff, and they're all getting on, and I've got all these problems come up, and you're fighting it, and you're like, oh my God, I just solved this one, and 3 more came up whilst I was solving that one, and you end up fighting it for a long time, and you end up just crashing and burning, and then the problems still come up. What's your burnout? You know what I mean? They still keep coming up. However, after a while, you start to accept the fact, okay, right, this is what this is. This is what property investment is. This is what deal packaging is. It is problems coming up and me solving them, problems coming up and me solving them. Now, I'm not saying wait until problems come up and then solve them. It's good to be proactive than reactive. However, problems like curveballs come out, and like you find a well in the garden, you know what I mean? Stupid shit like that. Like curveballs do come out of nowhere, and then you've got to react and you've got to deal with them. And then it's good to also have a folder in a Google Drive where you store problems in a category, so then if the problem comes up in the future, yeah, you may remember it, but you may not remember every little detail about it. You go in the folder, you go in like garden, and then you go in wells, and then you go in how I solved that problem. All right? So understand that problems coming up isn't necessarily a reflection on you being bad. It's just, it is what it is. And over time you learn to accept it and you understand it, and then you just, you know, the more experience you get, the more equipped you are to deal with these problems. At the start, you're a stick up against a dragon, and then by the end, you've got an army behind you up against a bear. You know, that was a butchered way of what Alex Hormozi talks about. All right, trips. Let's see what this day is going to bring. Yes, team. So, clearly editing a video, and it is yesterday's video. So I'd done the co-admin day with like Leon and Michael, and we had a great fucking day, but we were just talking about so much shit that I just completely forgot to record. So it is now the next day, but it is site visit day. It is Friday the 20th. I wonder if I can pull this off. I wonder if I can do all that I need to do today, edit it, and then put it out tonight. Because my new plan is Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. When I was doing it every single day, or most days, I was just struggling to fucking like come up with shit. So Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, let's commit to it. So the new door has been put in. We're at Project Western, and I've got to go all the way up there because a lot of the roofing works has been done. So let's see what's going on. So the dormer construction is getting further along. We're in a studio here. Window has been put in. Some solid progress this week. I can't lie. Pretty happy. More windows have been put in. Here, those two are already in. Plasterboard delivered, ready for installation. We'll go up there in a minute, but let's see if your boy can climb out here. Right. Here we go. Yes, team. Look at that window. Client picked this color. I think it's not eggshell, pebbles, something like that. And there is the dormer, looking clean. Getting there. Construction is getting on the way. It's going to be slate dormer, slate to match pre-existing roof under permitted development rights. I like walking on here. Let's keep going this way, see what's going on. We had to rebuild that up. Don't know if you remember that. That was all fucking basically dust. Had to rebuild all of that. A wee bit of the dormer there. Let's keep going around. Pebble window. Yeah, there's the new roof. There's the new roof. And here's the outdoor windows. And look, let's see what's down here. See the new bay windows being put in. Look at that. We had to I'll take you around to it, but all those block, that's only, we had to rip out the whole bay window and reinstall it because it was basically powder. The brick on this house, it's basically fucking dust. I can't lie. So basically most of the outrigger had to be ripped out, put back. Up here had to be ripped out and put back. The what is it? Bay window had to be ripped out and put back. I hope my hair wasn't shite again. I will get a trim, trust me, I will get a trim. Right, let's try and go back in here and see what's going on. Up stairs. That's a dodgy site, that. Look at the state of that. Health and safety. Health and safety. Oh mate, I ain't going up that. Is this ladder safe? Nah, here. If this falls, actually I'll put it up against that. It's a long way down. We're now in the dormer. Look at this. Taking good shape. Better angle of that. And hope this is fine to walk on. Beautiful. This is going to be a big studio. A big studio overlooking Derby. You know what I mean? Really happy with it. This project's like the biggest one, the meanest one. Probably be one of the best ones. Probably be one of the best ones. Okay, here is what it looks like. If you ever get into HMO conversions, a brief overview. We put a staircase in the middle. The old staircase was going up the side, down here. Put a staircase in the middle, put an ensuite in there, ensuite in there, ensuite in there, right? And then we ripped this roof off, put an L-shaped dormer on, and all of this here, this was the loft. And basically we lowered the floors from there to there, because it creates extra head space. You need 1.5 meters or above for it to be usable floor space, usable head space for the tenants, right? So that's what we do. That's a brief, very brief overview of what we do. And this is it, and that's that. On to the next one. Just a quick stop, that's the bay window there. All had to be rebuilt. And this is the new front door. Come on. And we have arrived at Project Madagascar. Chimney's taken out, built back up. Same again over here. It's probably been a while since you've seen this one, to be honest, troops. Let's see what's going on. So this was the old kitchen. It's all been ripped out. New floors have been put in, new steels have been put in, and the floors have been dropped throughout the house. Staircase is in the middle here. Staircase is in the middle. All the walls have been taken out. The old staircase was here. So you'd go through here, the stairs would go up to there. You can see that there. And it's all been taken out. So let's just go up and see what's really going on. It's the first floor, and we glimpse into the loft here. So all the floors have been dropped. You can see where it was there. This is 3 studios and 3 double en suites, in case you're wondering. And new steels have gone in up here. This was being built up again because it was very weak. And new floors above, new floorboards, new joists. You can see that's where the new staircase is going to go. En suites tucked in behind. You can start seeing it's a bit of a pattern. And this is it, and that's that. Built that out a little bit so you don't have that up against the window there, so it doesn't look like shit from the street. We can plaster that and make it look clean, make it look nice. And let's see if you can see what's going on out here from this angle. Nah, you can't really see. Scaffolding's gone up, but this is the sort of houses that we do. We do this, rip all of this off, put an L-shaped dormer, and it sits right on top of here. And see here, we would just extend a little bit there, and that little infill bit there, we would extend from that bit of the house, the front, all the way to here, so it's in line with this outrigger here. Hope someone doesn't see a finger wagging. But that's kind of what we're doing to these projects. If they're already big enough, you can do a normal dormer. You don't have to do a full L-shaped one. And if they're big enough, you don't even have to do an L-shaped dormer. You can just do reconfiguration on the inside. We're only doing this to add space. And this is it, and that's that. Right, we're now in the dormer. As you can see, it's all been felted. We're all getting there. We're getting there. Stud work is up. And this is what it looks like. It's looking really pretty, man. New windows going in shortly. And again, this was dropped quite a considerable height. As you can see, this is all built up again. So it's all strong, ready to go. Another new steel up there. You can see all the stud work. And this is it, and that's the new window there. That's the staircase. Goes all the way down. This is it, and that's that. It starts to look the same. And you might be thinking, Scott, you're doing the same shit all the time. Well, don't fix what's not broken, right? I'll be on to bigger and better things in a few years. However, I'm going to be doing one of these myself soon. And I wanted to ask, who do you know that would be open to investing in one of these with me? Who do you know? Start thinking, because I'll give a referral fee. And if you do know someone, fill out the form below in the description, and I'll simply get in touch. Whether it's you or someone that you know, you can make a quick referral fee, eh? Why not? Anyway, that's the cheeky CTA done. This is it, and that's that. Fucking hell. I might do a sexy montage for you, treat you for this video. site visit day done, and I promised I'd be honest on this channel, so I'm going to be honest. I'm not happy with a couple of the sites. I'm not happy with the progress on a couple of the sites. Had conversations with the builders and put a plan in place to make sure that we catch up on lost time, because listen, not every build is going to run smoothly. I think you were lying to me if you said, Scott, this build went absolutely perfectly, no problems came up whatsoever, on budget, on schedule, and nothing came up. Smooth, right? I'd be like, right, what are you not telling me? So when it comes to these projects, especially if you do development finance where you're bridging the finance to fund the renovation, lost time definitely is important. It always is important, but it's especially important because you're paying interest on the loan. And if it goes on too long, then you may have to extend the loan, which costs more money to extend it, and then it's more interest, right? Extremely important shit to be aware of. If you're paying cash, yeah, you do have to pay interest, but you also need to factor in lost opportunity. If it goes 2 months over build and you gross £4,000 per calendar month and you net, let's say round numbers, £1,000 per calendar month, it's an extra £2,000 gone. You know what I mean? So it's just important to be aware that yes, okay, lost a week this week or something, you know, but don't want to turn that into 2 weeks, which will then turn into 3 weeks. It's the knock-on effect. It's the knock-on effect. So like, let's say you delay, let's say the plasterers don't show up, right? That means the painters who were scheduled in can't come in the day they were scheduled in. They're not going to hang about. If they're subcontractors, they're not going to hang about. They may take other jobs. They may get presented another job that will take 2 or 3 weeks, and then they can't come back. So then you've got to find other painters, and are those painters good? You know, I mean, like, that's just a very watered down version of the knock-on effect. Like, you can, like, a few days lost here can translate to like a week lost over time, or 2 weeks lost over time, you know, over the whole build. It's just, you got to be aware of it. Now, I have the luxury of being an hour away, so I can go to the projects about 3 or 4 times a week. Now, not everyone has that. Investing in your own area to start off with is ideal because you can go to the project several times a week. It's your project, you're allowed to do that. It's not that you're micromanaging, it's that you're there to learn, educate yourself. Ask the builder, also, how come you do this? Why do you do this? And then it's not that you're interrogating them, it's that you're learning. I always do that with builders, especially at the start. I was like, so why is this? Why is this? So now I can identify if it's done right, identify if it's done wrong, identify if it's been missed out. You know, I can see these things, understand the process, and when the builders explain things to you, you'll have a better understanding of what they're actually saying. And it's a bit more peace of mind. You want to educate yourself as much as possible, right? So definitely for the first few projects in your own area, get an understanding, get a feel of it, and visit it many times. Not to micromanage, but to learn. Then, you know, once things got things up and running, it's up to you. You can venture into other areas, maybe like an hour away, maybe 2 hours away, maybe 3 hours away. My clients, they're based in Dubai, Hong Kong, you know, like that's why they hire me. So if you do it too far away, you may need to hire someone like me. However, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope it was okay. I do hope it was okay, getting back into the swing of things. But that's it. Look, listen, we're taking back charge. We've got a plan in place. There's a police car. So I'm going to call it a day because I don't know if I'm allowed to film.